Good afternoon, everybody. AW here in order here. It's Thursday afternoon, the last day of March. Yes, it's the last day of March, guys. April 1st, tomorrow, with the release of the greatest movie of all time, Morbius, coming out. And I'm going to go see that movie. There's going to be a spoiler review on that movie on Saturday. That's why Moon Knight spoiler review is today, the first episode. But going forward, the next Saturdays are going to be Moon Knight episode 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 spoiler review. Unless there's I don't know. Should I? Sonic's coming out. When Sonic and Fantastic Beasts are coming out, I might move Moon Knight 2 and 3 to Thursdays for the next 2 weeks, and then after that we'll do episode 4, 5, and 6 on Saturdays. Until Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, that'll definitely be a Saturday spoiler review. The movie comes on May 6th, so that'll be May 7th. I'm gonna see it beforehand, of course. So yeah, so the next 2 episodes, I think, of Moon Knight 2 and 3 will be on Thursday because of Sonic, if I Sonic 2 or whatever in Fantastic Beasts. There's a chance I might be able to do April 16th show, 2 weeks from this Saturday. I might be able to do a show. It's a chance. It's a possibility. On Saturday I may not be able to do it. That's all right. We'll be on lookout for that. It's a possibility. Next Saturday, definitely be a show, but the Saturday after, there's a possibility I may not do a show. But Moon Knight will definitely 2 and 3 will definitely be on Thursdays. And then once we get to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, every episode of the rest of the Moon Knight episodes will be spoiler reviews will be on Saturdays. Multiverse of Madness will be on a Saturday after it comes out on a Friday. May 6th comes out, May 7th. So yeah, welcome Blind Braille to the show. But yeah, so before we get people on, let me do something. I gotta put on my headset. See, you got a banner here warning you about spoiler review. Let me just make sure this is the right. Okay, that's correct. Okay. So welcome. So yes. I was just checking on something. It's all right. Invites are going out. Invites. If nobody comes on, I might do a shorter stream of this show. I'll play Max. My boy. I got a lot of people. I got a lot of people here, man. A lot of people here. All right. So I think that's all I need. All right. Yeah, that's all I need. Water also. So let's get on with it, guys. Moon Knight dropped yesterday, right? On Disney Plus. I watched it right as soon as I got up, I watched it in the morning. Went onto my computer, watched it, turned on the Disney Plus website, already logged in obviously, and put on the show. First episode of Moon Knight. Starring Oscar Isaacs as well, Stephen Grant, Mark Spector, whatever. Bunch of characters to be playing with different personalities. Ethan Hawke as Arthur Harrow, the villain. And so, what did I think of this before we get into the spoilers? Well, I thought it was a pretty solid start to a new Disney Plus show of for the MCU Marvel Cinematic Universe. We're getting more dwelling into the supernatural realm of things, Egyptian mythology, still supernatural, but Egyptian mythology. You could put those two things together, I guess. Right? We already have mythology in MCU already, but we're adding Egyptian mythology. Obviously, Moon Knight is based on Egyptian lore. If you know the comics, if you know Moon Knight, it's based on Egyptian lore. Now we get an opening with Arthur Harrow, and then we get an opening with Oscar Isaac's character in his loft, his apartment. He wakes up. He wakes up, and first thing he notices is that he's chained his leg to the bedpost. And I'm getting some notifications on my phone. Okay, not important. Not important. So he changes a leg to the not legs but legs to the bedpost. Um, he has like this tape on his door, very strong masking tape. He has a fish, cleans himself up. So this is a Stephen Grant personality. Now, not Mark Spector, Stephen Grant. And his loft has a lot of wood. Like everything there is made out of wood. There has to be a reason. He's very. I don't know, right? There's obviously reasons why he changed himself or and stuff, protect himself, whatever. So he goes to work. He works at the museum in London. He's very tired. He sleeps on. He was sleeping in the bus, stuff like that. Very tired. There's a reason why. There's a reason why he's falling asleep, right? Goes to the museum. And he sees a little girl put her gum on a pyramid, like a small pyramid display, like in Egypt, right? This is the Egyptian ancient Egypt section. And he was telling her about the pyramid, the little girl, and he took out the gum off. And then all of a sudden, his boss. So you would think he's the expert, like the tour guide or whatever, runs that exhibit. But no, it turns out he's just a salesman. He stands behind a counter selling, souvenirs. Turns out, and his boss is kind of a bitch. Boss is kind of a bitch. And she told him to do inventory. They went to do inventory, right? He explained this picture about how this is the wrong. There should be all nine deities, Egyptian deities. And then he was off work, leaves work, leaves the security guard. Security guard doesn't care, doesn't even know his name. Goes back to his loft, his apartment. Um, Seals up his door. Has like one of those tapes where kind of like motivation tapes, but this is different. This is a tape to keep him awake, help him keep him awake. Reads books, changes himself. There's a reason why he's trying to keep awake. It's because obviously he's been having nightmares, and he's know it. That's why he's been very tired and stuff. It's because he's been having nightmares. That's why he's trying to keep himself awake. And every time he goes to sleep, he has those dreams. He has dreams, nightmares to him, I guess. Nightmares, basically nightmare. But eventually he does fall asleep because he falls asleep, and all of a sudden he's in this outside a little small village, no clue where he is, and he hears a mysterious voice. Like, who is his voice? Who is his voice? And he has a scarab with him, like a scarab. Egyptian mythology, a scarab is, right? And behind him is this I really do appreciate you freezing on me. Thank you. I mean, I thank you, computer, my laptop. Thank you for freezing on me. Fucking computer. Sorry about that. So he goes to, so as I said, once he goes to sleep, he goes to his wakes up in a different wakes up in a different area, a different country, or maybe a bit same country, just a village in England, a small village or something. I don't know. And he hears a voice, and he looks up. There's a tower, and he sees two men behind him. He's like, "Hello!" And they start shooting him. And that voice says, "One." So he runs into the small village, and the citizens, the village people, the way they were walking seems like suspicious, mysterious, and he puts over his hood because he sees other people with guns and stuff, So he puts on his hood, and these people all walk to like the center, like the center of the village, and you see Ethan Hawke's character Arthur Harrow walk through the crowd to the front of the stage, basically. And start like he basically has a cult worshiping a deity that's been a Egyptian deity that's been perceived as you know not accepted by the other Egyptian deities, an outcast, evil, and that. He doesn't see her as that. We'll get to later on as that. I forget who the deity was. Let me check. Um, let me check the name of the deity. Very, very quickly. Let me look. Let me look it up. I'm trying to find it for you guys. Grant. Emet. Yes, the goddess Emet. Emet. There we go. And Oscar Isaacs was, well, no, Stephen Grant was watching the crowd, and he grants what Ethan Harold grants like is like salvation if you're worthy. So one guy got it, and this older woman wanted salvation, but apparently she was rejected. Rejected, I think. No, no, rejected. And and what happened was she died. She died. And anybody else, and then he said something, and everybody else went down, and then but Stephen Grant hesitated for a second, and then he quickly went down. And then Ethan Harold noticed him, and something suspicious about him. Then he recognizes him. He recognizes Stephen Grant. And Stephen Grant's all confused because he doesn't recognize He doesn't recognize Ethan Harold, obviously, because he's Stephen Grant is this is Ethan Harold thinks it's Mark Spector, but he Stephen Grant, but it's Mark Spector and Stephen Grant. And then he wanted to give him a scarab, but he was willing to give him a scarab, right? He didn't because Steve Grant no clue was willing to give him a scarab. But Suffolk was pulling his arm back. Like what? Suffolk was pulling his arm back, like, no, no, you will not give it to him. He's kept I mean like in a Ethan Harold Arthur Harold didn't buy it, obviously. No. And then Arthur Harrow sent his men after him. And all of a sudden, obviously Stephen Grant wouldn't be able to take him out. All of a sudden, something happened. A second later, all his men were on the ground, bloody dead, dead. Now I wonder why. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. There's a reason why those men were dead. Then he gets in a truck. He steals an ice cream truck, and either of those men chase him. One manages to get into the back, tries to attack Stephen Grant. And once again, for a couple seconds, that guy, the guy is dead. The guy in the ice cream truck, the guy who tried to attack Stephen Grant is dead, and all the other guys died, like from the same thing. And like Stephen Grant had no clue. And then all of a sudden, he woke up. He woke up in his apartment, and the reason they're all dead is because that's when Mark Spector's persona took over. Mark Spector, what happened was Stephen Grant couldn't defend himself, but when he got in trouble, Mark Spector critically took over his persona and was the one that took out the henchman of Arthur Harrow. Of course, Stephen Grant wasn't going to remember that because he doesn't even know the. It seems like Stephen Grant doesn't know about the Mark Spector personality, but Mark Spector definitely knows about the Stephen Grant's personality. Like like Stephen Grant doesn't know that Mark Spector's persona is in him, but Mark Spector knows that he knows that the Stephen Grant persona is in him, and when Mark Spector needs to come out, he'll come out when he needs to. That's what it seems like so far. I don't know. And so all of a sudden he wakes up from his dream. Remember, he has a date, right? He finds these weird oddities in his apartment because like some things were not properly like how they were before. Like his fish, pretty had one fin, but only had two fins. And pretty got his days wrong. He was on his date with the tour. He had a date with a tour guide, right? And then when he went to the restaurant to meet her, she never showed up, and he wondered why because it was the wrong day, and he asked what day it was. It was Sunday. It was like, well, and he missed 2 days, and the tour guide basically left a bunch of messages, and she told him never to call her again, like get rid of her number. They work together at the same museum. Let's get some people on here. So yeah, uh, and he realized, oh my god, what's this stuff? And so he's in back in his apartment. You know, he has a steak. He has a steak, whatever. He's back in his apartment. He's starting to hear voices, right? Like, who are you? Who is this? Who is it? Who? Like, he thinks it's a ghost or something. Like, starting to hear voices in his head. Obviously, it's Mark Spector or what's the what's the name? What's the name? I forget his name. Oh yeah, he does find a hidden phone in the key card. He finds the phone number on his phone, and the woman answers like, "Oh my god, I've been trying to call you. Are you okay?" He doesn't recognize the voice. Hello, this is not Mark. This is Steven. Layla. Yeah, who calls him Mark? Yeah, and he starts hearing it sounds like voices again, right? And like it's like, who is it? Like, who are you? What are you doing in my room? What are you doing in my con? Blah blah blah. He goes to the bathroom and he sees like his reflection, and he notices something different. Notice something, even though it's him, but it's not him. You can see the Mark Spector persona in him and then the it started shaking. His it started shaking. So he does everything to get out. Then his apartment started shaking. He did everything to get out in the hallway. Goes to the elevator. Goes to the elevator. All scared and stuff because he sees what the what's her name Kahushu whatever. You know what I'm talking about. He did gave that gave Mark whatever Stephen Grant his ability to become Moon Knight. I'm sorry for a second. I'm just trying to do something here. Um, how long have I been doing this for? This might be. Yeah, he's in the elevator, and I think it's the Kohushu. I forgot the name. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm you know what? And he's in the elevator on the ground, and when I think as I get close up, it turns out to be like an old woman shows up, and he's scared. He's even scared of the old woman, and the old woman's even scared of him. He's like, she's scared of him, and she goes on the fifth floor. Even though she says she's visiting a friend, but you could tell she's clearly afraid. Now it's not her friend on the fifth floor, right? She's just clearly afraid. But then he has to go to work again, right? He has to go back to work. He goes to work. He's on the bus, and he thinks he sees Arthur Harrow like stalking him, obviously, because he's still because Arthur Harrow sees him as Mark Spector, not as Stephen Grant. So he goes and he tells the security guard to look out for suspicious characters and security guard not to let anybody in. He says not to let him in, and he's like, that's kind of hard, mate. This is a museum. And he sees Arthur Harrow go deeper into the Egyptian ship. He follows them, and they confront each other. And the security guard apparently is part of the cult that Arthur Harrow is. Arthur Harrow is for Emmett. You gotta Emmett. Yeah, and Emmett is the god of judgment. So Arth like the goddess of judgment. So whether you're good or bad it depends on her. Depends on her. And that's what Arthur Harrow is trying to do. Arthur Harrow says represents is a servant of that. So things look bad for Steven at that moment, but unfortunately, something distracted him, and Steven worked late that night doing inventory. But he was late at night. It was closing time. All of a sudden, he heard a beast, um, started talking, saying, "Give me the scarab! Give me the scarab!" That's the beast, and that beast was attacking. Um, was going to chase after. Was chasing after Steven. That beast is Anubis. God of Underworld. Hero summons Anubis because Anubis and Matt also say with the judgment, death, stuff like that. Was chasing Grant in the museum. Grant eventually ran into the bathroom and he looks in the mirror and you see the mirror's reflection, but you could tell it was Mark Spector, like Steven, give it to me, let me out, let it go, let me take over, let me take control. Steven Grant, like as the beast is coming to confront him, Steven's like, okay. And then all of a sudden, you started to see the Moon Knight costume come out like a symbiote, come out, cover Moon Knight. And as Anubis comes in, he starts to beat the living shit out of Anubis, right? The bathroom, all the sinks were leaking with the water coming out. And then you see him pounding Anubis on the ground. You saw it in the clips of the trailers, obviously. And then you see the end of the episode, him in his full Moon Knight costume. And that's the end of episode 1 of Moon Knight. So what we got so far is that Stephen Grant's been having his nightmares of being somebody else, and that he does have mental illness, the multi-person disorder, whatever, right? Mark Spector is his Mercury, a Mercury, not Mercury, a Merc, right? Is a Merc that Arthur Harrow knows that's been taking him out, scared, and it seems like he does. It seems like there's no origin story here. I mean, there might be an origin story later, but it seems like I don't know. It seems like Mark Spector already confronted Kogan or something at some point, and he gave him into the Moon Knight. It seems like Moon Knight was already there, was already around, and Mark Spector was Moon Knight, but Stephen Grant had no clue, right? It seems like Steve Grant was not aware of Mark Spector or whatever or Moon Knight, but Mark Spector was clearly aware of Stephen Grant, right? And now, and you now know that Stephen Grant is going to be aware of Mark Spector because he let him take him to them in the ending, so he could become Moon Knight and take out the Anubis, the jackal-like being, who Arthur Hill summons. He serves Amet, gods of judgment. That's why you see that one scene where that one scene where he's in front of town. Um, the first person passed was judged and was I guess peer or whatever, and the old woman who was next to get judged was declined, not peer, and it's like no, and she died because of it. Right? And yeah, and so it's basically a cult. Arthur Harrow is winning here. For the goddess Emmet. I like this episode. It's a solid start. It's not perfect. It's a good solid start. I know a lot of people are saying, the critics saying before yesterday, that 2 and 3 are is not as 2 and 3 might be boring or whatever. They say 1 and 4 is a good episodes. 2 or 3 kind of, I guess, it's more story development episodes. Um, I guess we'll find out more how Stephen Grant and Mark Spector are like how like how they develop this personality disorder. Like who is the real who? Here's the question. We'll find out. Was he born Stephen Grant? Did Jimmy born Stephen Grant, or was he born Mark Spector? Who's from birth, or is there another character? Right? We know there's another character, another personality that might be in the show. Who is he straight from birth? I know originally it was Mark Spector, but I think they changed it around for this time for making Stephen Grant this time. But who is it really? Because we know Stephen Grant in the comics is rich and stuff, but you can clearly tell in this they decided not to make him wealthy. Right? Obviously, he wouldn't be living in a loft, in apartment, wherever. Not an apartment. An apartment. I don't know, man. I was like, we'll have to see more. Arthur Harrow's character is interesting. Call Layla. I assume Layla is that girl, that character that we see. That one clip where she defends Steven from Arthur Harrow's cult members, because Steve, that's not Mark yet, but that's Steven. I think that's probably Layla there. Yeah. An archaeologist, an adventure from. Yeah, so according to, she's an archaeologist in an adventure from Mark's past, not. So yes, she probably specializes in ancient Egyptian stuff, mythology or whatever, ancient Egypt. Let me Yeah, so Ethan Hawke's character, Arthur Hero, is associated with the goddess Emmett. He thinks he's doing good by healing the world and embraces Spectre to embrace his inner darkness. Yeah. But yeah. Since nobody come on, I'm gonna end it here, I guess. It'll be a short review. That's okay. I'm okay with that. You know? But I do have some stuff, right? And stuff up. I'm trying to do a Kirby stream on the Switch at 10 p.m. Eastern time. I know my friend Max might have a show going one that time, but I might. Oh, 6 people, not bad. But I might want to do it. If you get more people on. But yeah, it's at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Saturday, Morbius review. Yeah, it's probably gonna be one of the negative reviews I do. Probably be fun. If I'm gonna see it tomorrow. I think I'm the only one that's reserved tickets. I might be the only one in the theater actually seeing it, like the actual theater seeing it at 1:10 p.m. And I might have the theater all to myself. You know what? That'd be awesome though. Even though it's gonna be a shitty movie, from all we're getting, we're all from all accounts, the Rotten Tomato score is like what, under 20% now. But yeah, and once I see that, we're gonna do a review on it. Saturday spoiler review. It's up to you if you've seen it or not. If you want to be spoiled, I'll tell you how bad it is or good it is. Bad, most likely, right? Yeah, that's Saturday. And I gotta do WrestleMania predictions and stand deliver predictions. It might just be videos. I don't know. I have to do them. And that's Saturday. It's Sunday. All right. So yeah. Um. Yeah. So yeah, be on the lookout for that stuff, guys. And as I said, next Thursday will be Moon Knight episode 2 review, and the Thursday episode will be episode 3 because it's possibility that I might do the Sonic review next Saturday, and might not be able to do Fantastic Beasts the Saturday after. But if so, on the 16th, if so, I might do Fantastic Beasts on the 16th. It's a 50-50 chance I might do on the 16th Fantastic Beasts. And then we're going to get back to regular scheduling programming for episode 4, 5, or 6 will be the 23rd, 30th. Oh man, I got Caden here. Hello, Caden.
I saw you just sitting here, and I was like, I know.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Moon Knight.
Oh, you're watching it right now?
No. I'm doing a spoiler review. I saw like from yesterday.
Oh, I was watching for like 3 minutes, and you're just sitting here for silence. I was like, I'm just gonna pop in and say, what's he
Oh,
doing?
I was about to end it. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I was promoting stuff. That's why.
Oh,
Thank you for coming in.
oh yeah. Well, if you're about to end it, I was in Enosh's stream. I was just like, I'm still there. And just like, I just needed this. I was like, let me see what he's doing real quick. But
Yeah. You know what? I usually don't do spoiler reviews on Thursdays, but since I am seeing Morbius in the theater and I'm the only one like I think reserved tickets, I might be the only one in the theater. I'm moving that to Saturday.
You know what? You can just do the stream from your phone in the theater now.
Yeah, I know, but I know. I'll probably do like a non-spoiler review video tomorrow. I'm not gonna make it like a stream, but probably like once I get home we'll do a review, and it's probably good chances and be
terrible. It's
like,
terrible.
yeah,
I watched it
yeah,
yesterday. It's terrible.
yeah.
Um,
It's gonna be fun, exciting.
Yeah.
And only one person in the world is Grace that liked it.
Oh God. She got that Sony check.
Oh yeah, probably. So you saw Moon Knight, yeah, right? Did you see
Yeah.
the first episode? What do you think?
I
of it?
watched the first. Yeah, it was. I liked it. I'm looking forward to what they do for the next 5 weeks.
Yeah,
Especially since we know that the critics got like 4 episodes, and there's like a big thing at the end of episode 4 to see what that big thing is, and the lead up to that especially.
yeah, yeah. That's yeah. I'm interested too because I heard from the critics they say 2 and 3 are like really slow episodes, right? And 4 is the big one.
Yeah,
As it should be
like
because 4 is in the middle, like
yeah,
6.
it should be like the big
Yeah,
climax where it's like the biggest reveal of the whole series, and they should change it, because you have the first episode, of course, to introduce us to everything, and then you have the next 2 episodes to like everything happens, and then 4 should be like the big episode where everything crazy happens and the biggest reveals happen, at least the big reveals to change what we thought happened in the previous episodes, and to start
yeah,
something new, to leave us with 2 other episodes to like figure out what's really going on.
yeah. And then, I mean, episode 6, I think it ends the same week as Doctor Strange. If I'm correct.
It ends the same week. Well, I think it's the week before Doctor Strange.
Okay, that's good. And then they moved to Disney moved Kenobi
Yes,
2
the
days
week before
later.
Doctor Strange.
Disney moved Kenobi 2 days after like the initial release date. I'm like, what's the difference?
Right.
Is it because I don't know? It's because they want to have Miss Marvel on one day and Kenobi on another. Because I think
Hmm.
Kenobi's coming on a Friday, right? And Miss Marvel maybe a
Well,
Wednesday.
because so they have the premiere on Friday, but every other episode, the next 4 episodes will still be on Wednesday.
That's so stupid.
That's weird.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes. Yeah, that's really stupid. I don't get what they're thinking there. I don't understand why they're doing that. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's, and yeah, and we got and I'm interested in this Moon Knight. Like, I'm like he's nothing like Batman. Like as anything in that in the first episode. If you people compare to Batman and you saw the first episode, I'm sorry, but take your comparisons. Like these people have to take their comparisons out the window because it's nothing like Batman. Not even remotely close.
No, the thing is, it was crazy how Grace Randolph in the beginning, she said it's basically Marvel's Batman with mental disability.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. Here's a no. It's not. It's like it's more like if Two Face was Batman.
Yeah,
No, she doesn't know shit. Like here's the
no,
thing
she
about
doesn't.
Grace. She doesn't know comics.
Yeah,
She doesn't know comics. I know the MCU doesn't do exactly like the comics does, but they do take some stuff. They do take stuff from the comics as
yeah,
core, the fundamentally core of the character. They don't. She doesn't know that stuff. Like Moon Knight's Batman because he's dark and has a cape. Like no, he's and here's the thing, he's not rich in this. Stephen Grant in the comics is apparently the wealthy character. Stephen Grant in this show is not wealthy, right? Like he doesn't have any. He lives in an apartment building in an apartment. He doesn't hasn't even has no money. I mean, he has money, but like he's not wealthy. All right, but yeah, I mean, how can you take Grace's? How can people take Grace's Randall's opinion seriously when she likes Morbius? Mobius. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for Caden when he comes back. But yeah, that's it's not like Batman at all. I'm actually gonna end it though. I am gonna end it. Thank you for Kate. Yo, Caden, I know you're away, but thank you for coming on. So yeah, Saturday Morbius review is probably gonna be terrible. I know Caden saw it already. He says it's shit. I mean, everybody's saying it's shit except Grace Randolph. I'll see it for myself and judge it based on when I judge it based on myself when I see it. I'll probably make a video about it tomorrow. There's a video, but yeah, take care, guys. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. Take care.